The Conqueror is a British Tier 9 tech tree heavy tank. In certain regards, it's an absolutely fantastic tank. It carries one of the best guns you'll find on a heavy tank in the tier that it's at. It's got great DPM, fantastic accuracy, and HESH that absolutely ravages enemy hit point pools. That's great. The bad part about the tank comes at the cost of mobility and armor. It's definitely not the slowest tank, going at a top speed of 34 kilometers per hour, but you would expect after grinding past 3 engines that the top one would make you go at least 40 kilometers per hour, but no, it's not the fastest of tanks. Not only is it not very fast, but its armor profile is absolutely atrocious. This here is the Conqueror, and you'll notice the upper plate is about 256 millimeters thick. But now if we jump up to the tier 9 on the tech tree to get the Conqueror, it's actually weaker. I don't even know how that's possible. But yeah, the Conqueror has a weaker hull than the Conqueror, which is a tier lower. And what they did is they just shoved a larger turret on it. The unfortunate part is that the turret has literally no armor. Even when using this vehicle fully hull down, it doesn't bounce anything. Like, sure, the upper plate, it's actually not bad. If you angle it right, I don't think the upper plate of this hull is terrible. It's just that the turret is horrific. This is after the buff, mind you not. This is what the actual thickness is after Wargaming has buffed the turret. Sure, if the vehicle had 10 degrees of gun depression, it wouldn't be bad. It'd be sitting at something like that, but it doesn't. It's 7, which really struggles in a lot of situations. Personally, I believe that Wargaming just needs to make the turret impervious. You can still leave a weak spot on the roof. Like this, sure, you can leave a massive weak spot on the roof. But I do think that the Conqueror turret needs to be at a certain thickness that it cannot be penetrated like this by premium shells. I mean, even with AP shells, it is still incredibly weak, even using it hull down. It's quite poor on that regard. So if it doesn't have great turret armor, and it doesn't have great mobility, then it's really all relying on the gun. And that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video, obviously followed up by some pretty good gameplay. Now, I've been cruising around all over in Tier 9 for the past day or so. You can see just looking at my battle logs here, I've been playing a lot of Tier 9. I was messing around specifically in the WZ-111 GFT. I absolutely love that Tier 9 tank destroyer. But the Conqueror, I actually didn't do too bad, and you'll notice I'm platooning here with Bat Chat Begin, Season is Tortoise, and I'm in the Conqueror. We went around 80-ish% win rate in the platoon with the Conq, and I averaged over 3,000 damage in the vehicle, which is plenty to showcase that you can do well in it. With speed boost and as well the adrenaline I'm running instead of reactive armor, you can actually get it up to a decent speed of 40 kilometers per hour, as you'll notice me going here, and it's got a great power to weight ratio, so you don't really need to worry too much about getting it into position slowly. It at least has the engine speed with that consumable, plus a pretty good power to weight to keep it up at top speed. That's one thing I always say about the British vehicles is they do have decent acceleration and very solid power to weight ratios. So that's one thing I really can't complain about, but it's not the fastest of tanks. It's very large, it's got a terrible camo rating, and judging that it's using a tier 8 hull and a turret that could be used on a tier 8 and still probably not receive many bounces, that's where the downsides do occur. Now, I was obviously expecting somebody to be in front of me, but there wasn't anybody in front of me, so I was like, okay, I'll just continue pushing. So we know for a fact that the Object 268, T100 LT, all of these super incredibly strong tier 10 vehicles are situated just really in their spawn. They haven't moved out because my T92E1 or whatever my light tank is off to the side, rather my Sheridan is spotting them, and that Sheridan is very aggressive. So while that Sheridan's doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a nice HE shell into the Object 268. This is where the Conqueror feels amazing, is being able to penetrate HESH shells. You have about 120 millimeters of HESH penetration, and I mean, you can see just what it lets you do. Rear of an E50M, and 488 damage. 2 shells out, and we've dealt almost 1,000 damage. That's pretty impressive when it comes to HESH. And again, we're going to load in another shell, but oh, that one kind of lets me down. Try to squeeze it in between the tracks, which isn't too bad of a shot to do normally, but obviously on the move, it can be a bit of a pain. There's another HESH shell that doesn't connect, so we had 2 pens and then 2 non-pens. We're still sitting okay on damage at around 1,200, but in realism, I could have fired just AP and we would have been sitting at around 1,600 damage. But that made up for it there, didn't it? Another 500 damage HESH shell. So the Conqueror, it does have very nice DPM. That's one thing that a lot of people really underestimate about the vehicle. Just with me running calibrated shells, I'm still sitting at around 2,500 damage per minute. So sure, this tier 10 medium does out DPM me, but really not by much. There goes the E50M. That's 2,400 hit points I've managed to chalk up on the drawing board, And now we're just going to aim it on the side of this Jägerpanzer. Thank you very much for your hit points, good sir. And we're already up to 2,800 damage. I mean, this showcases just how quickly you can get up damage in a vehicle that carries such a nice gun. Gonna load a HESH shell and, oh man, just absolutely ruined that guy's hit point pool. 500 damage. I cannot tell you how much I love HESH. I mean, it is definitely one of my favorite shells in the game. Now we're at 3,400 damage. Sadly, we didn't get the full rollout we wanted to on that guy, but I can't really complain. 3,400 damage in a tier 9 is already pretty solid. You'll notice that the accuracy on this vehicle is fantastic. It doesn't miss its shots. It hits almost every time where you aim. It's got 0.303 dispersion, which makes it more accurate than vehicles like the AMX-30B and even the STB-1. That's quite impressive for what is a heavy. So that is the big advantage. Also, some of you were keen to point out my light bulb in yesterday's video. Yes, I did mod my light bulb. That shot there, by the way, was pretty crazy. But yeah, I did mod my light bulb to say that, so that whenever I get shot by a T100 LT or an Object 84, I know it will flash a little banner in front of me that I am very confident I know I'm spotted for 20 seconds, and it has a fitting name as well. So I thought I'd use that. But yeah, that's what I thought I'd say there for a little bit of a tad. But here we go, using speed boost to climb up that hill at around 35-ish kilometers per hour. Not bad. Maybe we can get a shell to the side. Fire! Just goes a little bit short. But hey, this guy turns around, he shoots me, so we're just going to push up speed. Speed is key. While the T100 LT is a very, very strong tank, this guy has cornered himself into a position where there's really not much he can do. You can see where that 10 degrees of gun depression really doesn't feel fantastic on the tank. Driving over, and there you finally go, finishing off the T100 LT. So there you have it. That was a pretty solid game. We did 4,784 damage and pulled out a mastery. You can definitely see where the gun on this vehicle is fantastic. It does not miss shots. As long as you're good at the game and you understand how to aim in your shells, how to lead them, this is one of the best tanks in the game to do that, because the gun is amazing. When I compare this gun to the M103 that I also played in today, to the 50 TP prototype, it is a light years ahead. The downside is that if you make mistakes in a vehicle like this, you will be greatly punished. You know, the IS-8, it's got very troll armor. Even if you make a poke that's wrong, sometimes you'll get bounces on the track wheel, you'll get bounces on the side. Yeah, that's not the case for the Conqueror. This thing literally has no armor. So whenever you expose your armor or somebody has a side of you, you should basically expect you're going to be penetrated. It creates sort of a wimpy playstyle, but if you can get the playstyle right, and you're going to see that happen in this game, oh man, does it feel incredible. So what do we have in the enemy team? Well, we got a Jagdpanzer, Sheridan, we got a TVP 5051, 57 Heavy, 50 TP Prototype, a 54, and a Tortoise. That shell there was a little bit of a whiff. Obviously, I couldn't aim that in as much as I wanted it to, but it's nothing too bad. What I see right now is a free HE in the side of that TVP. Kaboom! 533 damage. It's just insane how much damage these HESH shells do get out. So we got the Sheridan over here, and I was thinking, okay, well, what do I want to do with the Sheridan? I'm at 900 damage right now, and eat 470 damage I just took off of that Sheridan, and it gets better. Another HESH shell. Oh my god, yeah, this vehicle is insane on that regard. So now we're at 2,000 damage. Guess what? I'm going to load in more HESH. Kaboom! There you go. Now we're at 2,562 damage. There's one really big reason why I love HESH specifically on this vehicle and the FE-Toon 5B, and that is because their guns are so accurate. When you have vehicles that are accurate enough to quite easily snapshot enemy weak spots and look around a vehicle for a spot to penetrate, if you have HESH and you're shooting at the side of a medium where it could possibly go into the tracks, this is the kind of vehicle to do that with, because you're going to get away with it. You don't have to aim in for a while, and you get a very easy shot at the opponents. So here we go. What do we have? We got the Tortoise in front of us, a nice shot into him, and oh boy, here we go again, putting on the HESH. I mean, just look at what the HESH can do. Gun depression, sure, kind of lets you down, but yep, there you go. HESH is into the rear of that guy. And all that's left is the Jagdpanzer. I mean, this was a very quick battle, but it definitely showcased what the tank can do. The Conqueror just, it does well with the gun. Now, obviously, I didn't show you every battle, and there were games where the team sucked and we fell apart. But there wasn't actually a battle where I did remotely bad in the Conqueror. I did, as I said, around 3,000 damage in it. Today's statistics, maybe about 10 or 15 battles in it. Nothing too crazy, but a good enough amount to learn, should I say, how the armor has affected it. And it hasn't. The armor has not affected the Conqueror at all. It really has not. So if you expected this to be like the new best tier 9 heavy, it's definitely not. But I will say that it is a fun tank, and if you've pulled it out for the one time you have in your entire year, maybe try it out. But hopefully, obviously, you enjoyed today's video. Personally, I do not believe that it should be smart, should I say, to grind for the FE2 and 5B. In my opinion, I really just don't think it would be a good decision. It's not a great tank. It's the worst performing tier 10 currently statistically. And yeah, not a smart idea. So that would be my suggestion to you. Maybe go for the Kranvang, go for the IS-7, IS-4, 60 TP. Grinding this Conqueror is a pretty bad idea. But maybe it'll get buffed in the future. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye!